night grows colder, spare a thought for our four-legged friends in the fields, if wishes were horses.
When you're feeling kind of low, you can always be sure they're there. They will cheer you up, I know. You can always be sure they care. When you're cleaning tack, when you're moving muck, when you're doing all your chores, still you're having fun, you don't seem to mind, 'cause you know you and your horse are friends, friends, they're your friends.
Bryony?
Yes?
Bryony, what are you doing?
I'm putting on a rug on Goldie.
Oh, darling, it's the middle of the night. It's winter, and the main chores involve fueling the horses with extra food to keep out the chill. Scott, as expert hay sniffer, gets to choose the hay. The ponies all have to have separate piles of hay because of the pecking order. No pushing in, chaps. The ponies need lots of extra hay in the winter because there's so little goodness left in the grass, and in some areas, very little grass. Food is essential for warmth. Small amounts of hay should be given throughout the day and at least one supplementary feed. Some horses, like Jacko, benefit from a good, warm breakfast. Especially when it's cold enough to freeze the water trough. To get the correct mixture of hard food for your pony requires a degree of expertise. One of the best solutions is to buy a ready mixed feed. Here at Bradley's, the feed specialists, they use a computer to control the quantities of bulk ingredients, like oats, barley and alfalfa. Minerals, vitamins and other ingredients are added by hand, and the whole lot is mixed together in a giant food processor. This way, you can be sure that the ingredients are well measured and the recipe just right. Thank you very much. Can I have a bag of mix, please?
Indeed you may.
Thanks very much. OK, Bryony, let's find out about the duvet.
Ali, why'd you put a duvet on your horse?
Because he's clipped. We've taken all his natural coat off and it keeps him warm.
Why do you clip him?
I clip him because when he's in work, he won't sweat so much. It also helps me to keep him clean, makes him look smart, and it helps to stop him from getting a chill because he can dry off quicker.
Ali the barber is going to demonstrate clipping on Trigger.
These are the big electric clippers that I do most of the horse's body with. This removes the hair from the horse's body. Turn them on. And tell him I'm coming. Always tell him you're coming with his hand.
Horses and ponies that need to be kept really fit can't work properly with all that heavy coat on. They get too hot and sweaty and then catch a chill when they cool down. The answer is to clip off their natural coat with electric clippers. This is not an easy job. It requires protective clothing and a steady hand.
When you clip, you always follow as much as possible the natural contours of the body. This horse is going to be trace clipped, which I will make a line up to here, so he will be stable kept at night and out in the field during the day.
So now you know. You only need duvets if your pony is clipped. If your pony is a native breed and grows a thick winter coat and does little exercise, well, except avoiding being caught like Goldie, then he doesn't need a rug at all. Horses don't mind the cold, but they need either a field shelter or a good, thick, high hedge to protect them from the wind and rain. Very smart, Trigger. Let's hope the other ponies don't think you're a poodle. These horses live at Gregory Farm in Pembrokeshire, one of 3 farms run by HAPA, the Horse and Pony Protection Association. Sadly, through ignorance and neglect, many horses have to be rescued from desperate conditions, often suffering from severe malnutrition. Leslie Hands, who runs Gregory Farm, explains some of the cases, starting with Sue.
Can you see how her eyelid, she is very nervous actually, can you see how her eyelid is ripped off on that side? Now the stable door was too high, so she rolled, got her head stuck under the door and the dog savaged her around the head. She was very, very emaciated and the people were successfully prosecuted.
She still seems quite nervous. Do horses ever forget if they've been cruelly treated like that?
Some of the ponies we still can't handle, but this one we can catch and mess about with and brush, as you can see. You've got to watch her. She can be a bit handy with the back feet, but that's just nerves, that does that.
One of the worst cases Leslie and her husband have been called to were 2 stallions who'd been kept in their stables for 3.5 years without being let out or mucked out.
Now, when we actually opened the stable door, the manure was that high and we had to dig him out. When they first saw him, they thought it was a pony, and what it was, he was led down at the door with his head over the door. We had to get the vet to dope him to get him out the box because he was frightened to come out. The underneath of that foot, can you see that? You can imagine, you see how you know how your horse's foot's like that? And the inside wall had grown underneath like a peanut shell and back up over the top like a club.
Oh, this was not an example of ignorance. The lady owner had 10 other horses in good condition, but she was initially afraid of the stallions and then too proud to admit their condition and ask for help. This foal here was only a few days old when she was brought here by Roy G of the RSPCA. Unable to pass a horse possibility by, Bryony asked the inevitable.
Are the ponies cheap here?
The ponies are never sold. They always belong to us. They go out on loan.
How do you get a loan pony?
From us?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you have to apply. Well, your parents have to apply.
Have you got one?
At the moment, I don't think so.
Phew! Thank you, Leslie. And a final word of advice from the Happer ladies?
Don't buy a horse.
We are all gathered here to make a ménage.
What's that?
A ménage is like an arena. We have a bag of flour and several buckets.
Why do we need a bag of flour?
We'll ask Ali.
There's another letter. Now, what's that letter? X.
Right,
Now.
excuse me, everybody.
Oh dear, here we
No,
go.
here.
You ready for this?
All
Oh, you weren't baking today, were you? Quite a lot. I was thinking of doing too much.
What's it like self-raising flour?
That could be useful for dressage because you want elevation. Brilliant.
How do you remember all this?
Well, there's a little rhyme.
Oh,
All
Yeah.
king
Edward's
horses
carry
many
blundering fools. Got to get on with these tests then.
Yep.
We've got to learn how to do these tests.
to learn how
have
to
you?
ride it now.
You may be wondering why we're doing this. We're practicing and preparing to take part in a one-day event, like princesses do. See the buckets? The event is divided into 3 parts. Dressage, which is a set test displaying the paces. Cross-country, which is jumping a course of imaginative, rustic and sometimes horrific fences. And this tests obedience, speed and endurance. And the horse has a hard time too. Show jumping, which of course you all know about. Although someone should tell this fellow that dismounting during a jump is inadvisable. Oh, we've got a lot to learn before the big day. Let's start with the first part. The horse and rider have to memorise and follow exactly a sequence of movements written down on a piece of paper like this.
At A, circle right. Diameter A to X.
Ali's reading it out for us at the moment because no one's had a chance to learn it.
Working canter around the arena. X, halt and salute.
Don't forget to smile and try to look elegant to win points from the judges. Now, what does a horse doing cross-country jumping have in common with a footballer? Studs, which stop the horse from slipping. Now, we're talking protection here. Boots covered with bandages to protect the legs, grease to slide off the fences, a strong bit, extra straps, and a second girth. And why does Penny need armour for this part of the event?
Penny, this back protector, how does it function?
Well, this is to save yourself when you fall. It's got extra padding, and as you can see on the back, it especially helps the backbone, so that if you land on your back, it'll save you.
And you don't have any protection for your neck from it, though, do you?
No, but that is why we wear a stock, and we wear it quite tight, and that will give extra support to our necks.
When we saw the size of her jumps, we understood why.
Isn't it dangerous?
What, cross-country?
Yeah, to jump like hedges that big.
Well, no, not really, as long as you ride very carefully and you know what you're doing. As long as the horse and rider trust each other, then you're fine.
Before total panic ran through the group, Ali showed us the sort of course our lot would be tackling. With a sigh of relief, we learnt how to go up and down a gentle slope, and the fences weren't at all frightening.
Good girl, well done. Hold the mane. Well done. Now go that way. Go forward a bit. Ooh, well done. Good girl, Sharon. Go forward. Good boy. Sit up. Victoria doesn't like ditches. No? Do you want me to jump it with you? Shall I hold you? Quick, grab it. Grab it. No, grab the mane. Okay? If you do it, you get a pat on the head. Hold tight. Hey, come on, Holly. She'll stop otherwise. Oh, Holly. Oh.
Chloe obviously doesn't like ditches either. With the right encouragement, she'll get a pat on the head too.
There you are. Good girl.
One of the ways you can buy a horse is at a pony sale. We went to one at Lampeter in Wales without my chequebook.
Once to say 200 to 400 horses there are, 200 to 400 horses.
Monthly
About
sale
three.
of up to. Yes,
Oh,
we
I
haven't
see.
arrived yet.
Oh, right.
Perhaps the reason was that quite a number of them had never seen a salesroom before and weren't too keen to see one today. There were resourceful and inventive ways of getting to the sales. This fellow borrowed his mother's washing line to make a bridle. You'll have to walk home. Early customers have a chance to peruse the catalogue, which is not always very enlightening.
Good stock getter.
What does that mean?
That must mean he's very good at herding around sheep and
Oh, I
cattle
see.
and things like that.
Look, do you see, there's the number, so you go and identify which horse has got that number,
Who's going to find?
and then you can tell, these are all their details then. So should we
Who's
go
going
and
to
see
find
one?
701?
701.
So they've all got their lot numbers. You see, look, lot number 9, and then they put a sticker. Look, here's lot number 10, and he's got a sticker, so you don't get muddled up. Here it is. No, that's not it.
Serious dealers rubbed shoulders with onlookers, apparently talking in code.
I got another one. Oh, and I got a good meal.
How old's the baby? 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Oh, at least the baby's going with his mum.
Various ploys are used to display the saleability of the animals. Young children sit on ponies to prove their gentle temperaments, and paces were displayed in the car park. But rain stopped play for this lad.
Very pretty one. This looks quite different from the other one.
Look.
Has this got any of the faults that one needs to look for?
This one's a little bit splay-toed. He tends to stick his toes out a little bit.
Does ballet lessons, I suppose?
Yeah, but the blacksmith can alter that.
Can he?
Yes, he can change that.
How?
By good shoeing.
Passing on from how the blacksmith was going to convert Wayne Sleep into a riding pony, Ali showed a very keen interest in this young horse from Cornwall.
That's a nice sort. How old is it? 3-year-old. Has it done anything?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just over the
Have you sat on her?
No.
No.
Bryony showed a very keen interest in everything.
I've always came here for cobs, you know, for riding school cobs.
Yeah, because cobs are so popular, aren't
That's
they?
right.
Right, this is the 3-year-old bay filly. The 3-year-old bay filly, 16 hands, 16-1.
We persuaded Ali against trying to get this one in the back of the Land Rover, but Bryony would happily have ridden the 200 miles home given half a chance, and had to be forcibly restrained.
And we're going to finish in the pace, just beginning. At 500, 500, you're coming again at the bottom. At 500 guineas, the bed's on the right, hear me. I'm going at 500 guineas.
So to that gentleman in the blue coat and hat. Oh, me! I've got a horse hat.
Reeling from all that heady excitement, we went to meet Bob Westicott from the BHS.
People with me, excuse us. If I just quickly introduce you, this is Bryony, Tom, and Emily and Ali.
Hello.
Why are you here at these horse sales?
If a horse is going through the sales ring, which shouldn't really be going through because of its condition or whatever, then we go to the auctioneer, and if we can't persuade the auctioneer and the owner to take it out of the sale, for various reasons, then we call in the RSPCA.
I see.
And you will have probably seen
Yes,
two
I've seen the
RSPCA officers are here every single sale. We never ever recommend buying from a horse sale.
No.
You can't have it vetted for a start.
Right.
So you could buy something when, by the time you get it home, is lame. However, having said that, I've bought lots of horses from sales.
Who are the people then that buy at the horse sales?
You see a lot of horses coming to sales that are destined really for meat, whether it's the pet food industry
You do?
or human consumption.
How
Because
can you tell immediately they're destined for meat?
by the people that bring them, and lots of people who do get a motive buy them, considering that they're saving them. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is really up to that person to decide.
On your caravan, there are notices about horses that have been stolen. Do you get money?
Yes. One of the services that we now provide is trying to trace stolen and lost horses and ponies. Hence the reason you see those there.
Do you have a high success rate in finding these ponies?
Out of the 96 odd that were stolen last year, 1991, there are, as far as we know, 19 recovered today. So there is still a lot missing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't be looking. All 19 have gone through a sale, either at the time we recovered them or immediately before.
Do you ever have your horses stolen?
Thankfully, no. Hopefully the reason is that I have all my horses freeze marked. So when you get your pony, please do it.
Does he know something we don't?
We saw these notices on the caravan. Are these your horses?
Yes, they were stolen out the field on the 22nd of March. They both heavily in foal.
So there's their horses and their foals perhaps by now?
Yes.
Are they freeze marked?
Only that one, and she is freeze marked 99X1, which is underneath her mane on the right-hand side. Squirrel, Richard's Queen Bee.
Let's hope they get found. It's a terrible thing to happen.
It's a tense and exciting moment for Abby, the chickens and I, because Tom and Emily are going to have their very first jumping lesson. Let's hope they don't fall off. Bryony is a bit upset because just before we began filming, there was an accident.
Unfortunately, Emily had a rather nasty fall. She went straight over the head of Joe, who spooked, I think, at my umbrella. Teach me not to have an umbrella. So poor old Ems has gone off to hospital to have her elbow looked at. And Bryony's going to jump Joe instead, only Bryony's feeling a bit worried about it, having seen Emily go over the head of Joe. But you're all right, aren't you? What do you think?
Bryony could ride Simba and I could ride Joe.
Oh, that's very gentlemanly-like. What do you think, Bryony? Do you want to have a go?
Would you rather do it that way? Yeah?
You've now shortened up your stirrups for the jumping position. So let's have a look at your jumping position. Shorten up your reins and just lean a little bit forward now. Look between your pony's ears. Make sure your heels stay forward though, Tom. That's it. Well done, both of you. You see here, we've got a blue and white pole. The centre is a white piece in the middle. So although it's a great big long pole, I want you to jump that bit in the middle. When you get to about here, I want you to start to lean forward, looking up between your pony's ears, and then you go straight onto the fence down there at the sea end of the school.
There are 3 reasons for this exercise: to make sure the approach to the jump is straight, to jump the centre of the pole, and to practice the rider's correct position.
Well done.
Once these objectives have been reached, Tom and Bryony progress to a trot.
And big smile. Good girl.
And as soon as they're confident, they attempt a simple jump. Tom needs a little bit of help as Joe gets vertigo above 3 inches.
All right, lean forward, hold the neck strap. Good boy. Think slow. Now big smile, go forward, hold on. Good girl, well done. Now lean forward and leg. Good boy.
Gradually, more poles will be added to the jump. Perhaps not quite as many as this, though. This horse has got it sussed. Our more advanced riders are warming up for their jumping lesson over trotting poles and cavalettis. This is good gymnastic exercise to improve rhythm and get your pony to look where he's going and pick his feet up. Very important for jumping.
Forward. That's it.
Ali is going to give us tips on how to jump a show jumping course.
I have built here a small course with the basic structure of a course, which is a figure of 8.
Try to get your pony used to as many different types of obstacles as you can. And remember the order, everybody.
Right, Scott. Now what you've got to concentrate on is staying with him. Good boy. Sit up, sit still. And what's happening to Scott's horse is he's looking to the outside because Scott's using the outside rein and not the inside leg. So it's making it very difficult for Scott to turn him.
So he needs to do more leg and less head.
More dressage.
More dress.
Right. Sharon, move. Well done. You're on the correct leg, so keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
By using all the arena, Sharon can get a straight approach to each jump. Always look to the next fence and make sure your horse is on the correct leg through the corners. Riding accurately at each jump helps to accomplish a clear round.
Good girl, well ridden. Right, Holly. We've got to work a little bit more on your rhythm. All right?
How will she improve her rhythm?
By basically improving the feel and the partnership between her and the horse.
So what should she do to work on that?
With this particular horse, she has to improve her leg. The horse is not what we call listening to her leg.
So does that mean flat work, basically?
Yes, flat work.
Class, come in.
These soldiers are working hard at their flat work.
Class, steady. I'm thinking.
And excellent gymnastic dismount.
Now, what divides haute école from ordinary dressage as a sport is the airs above the ground. Now, the great white Lipizzaner horses of the Spanish riding school performed these, and to see this performance of these beautiful horses performing these wonderful movements in the Winter Palace in Vienna is a great privilege, and one sadly which our budget won't allow. So in the humbler surroundings of Paddock Farm, we have Radish to perform the 3 great classical leaps. To begin with, here's the Levade. Good luck, Radish. And now, for our pleasure, Radish will perform the Corvette. And now, the very difficult leap of the goat, the Capriole. Go for it, Radish.